Since you talked about Asymya and healing on your last show, would you comment further on the topic of healing, specifically energy healing such as Reiki, reconnective healing, pranic healing, etc., and the limitations of these healing modalities?
Look at it from this perspective. First realize, yes, that to one degree or another, every one of those healing modalities encourages the individual to perceive, assume, if you want to call it that they are the ones affecting the healing. Mm-hmm. And by that we mean effecting, not affecting. Mm-hmm. Do you see?
Yeah.
And so there is an inherently built-in psychology within that. Of course, the built-in psychology exists within the humanity itself, because humanity always wants to see individuals create effect on them. Every one of you, yourself included, dear Maggie, you would love it if dear God came down and said, whack, there you go, the effect is made, you're now a rich woman, you're now this, you're now that.
Yeah,
you see?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be just wonderful if the world would just be able to do that? So you perceive that you want, in your perception, that it's possible, and because you perceive the possibility, you, yourself, your egos, and all the individuals practicing this, their egos, are perceiving themselves as capable then of creating this effect. Do you see? Mm-hmm. Because their egos have to be stroked, they think themselves God, and of course, because they think themselves God, they have to have the ability to create an effect in another. After all, isn't that why individuals move through to healing? They want to be as close to God as possible, if not be God themselves. Mm-hmm. You see?
Yeah.
The whole concept of healing is that they can do what no one else can do, which only God can do. Mm-hmm. Do you see? Mm-hmm. What a load of poppycock. Mm-hmm. Do you see?
Yeah.
The point is that when you create healing, regardless of the modality, what you're trying to do is you're trying to create an environment in which an individual can choose to heal themselves. The healing modalities that are out there, whether you call them the Reiki, whether you call them pranic healing, whether you call them anything else, you see? Mm-hmm. They are all designed to affect the ego of the individual practicing it, rather than to create an effect on the individual that is getting it. That it does, in some cases, affect the individual getting it is to the benefit of the individual that they choose to. They believe as strongly as the practitioner that they are capable of being healed. So one believing strongly that they can be healed, the practitioner believing strongly that they can heal, the two come together, and the resultant is you do get results. Do you see? Mm-hmm. But really, is this truly results? Or is it nothing more than a choice? And that's the key to understand. All you're doing through a lot of these healing modalities is you are complicating the simple choice. The choice to heal yourself. Do you see?
Yes.
When the Nazarene came by in your history, he didn't spend a whole lot of time complicating healing. He just basically said he touched, he provided the environment, and individuals he chose to heal or not. You see? Mm-hmm. Some did, some didn't. You see?
Yeah.
Not everybody he touched healed. You see? Mm-hmm. There was healing in the sense that there was shift and changes and choice, but no, not complete healing. You see? Mm-hmm. So really, do you need all of these methodologies? Do you really, truly need the techniques that fuel the mind, that say to the mind, if I do this, if I do that, if I do it this way, if I do it that way, there are 12 positions, there are 12 steps, there are 12 programs, do you see? Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to be able to affect an individual and their choices? No. Get out of your ego. Mm-hmm. And realize that everything that is given, even in Asymya, when we gave Asymya, we gave an outward methodology. We gave that methodology, why? In order to satisfy the ego's desire for specific physical representation. But it is not, and this is what we encourage, we certainly will encourage individuals, and we have encouraged the individual that we gave this to. We have encouraged him to realize, and he has realized, it is not the necessity of the fingers or the positions that creates the healing. It is the energy movement itself, the environment you create. Do you see? Mm-hmm.
And that's, I have another question. Is Asymya related to any other healing techniques, or does it stand on its own?
It stands on its own. It stands on its own because within the simplicity of itself, it is that which interconnects everything that is to everything that is. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
So, yes, it does stand on its own. It may look like something else. It may have perspectives, and anyone can judge it and say, well, that looks like this, that looks like that, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But we assure you it is very much on its own. It is a simplistic or simple technique to bring about the opportunity for choice. That's all it does. You see?
And that the person that's performing or say doing Asymya
Yes.
on another individual, are they just the conduit of that energy, or?
They're not even that. They are the oneness with the person that is being performed on.
Okay.
They're not separate. And that's the key. The key to learning Asymya is to begin, first you begin by learning the positions as we've described them. That satisfies and fuels your mind. Good for puzzle for the mind loves that puzzle. Good for you. You see? Then from there, you also learn to set aside the mind. Oh, well, now, not only do you learn the positions, but now you have to set aside the mind. That becomes difficult. Do you see?
Yes.
But set aside the mind in that you don't have any assumptions, you don't have any perspectives, you don't try to push anything towards the individual, you don't try to force the energy. Do you see? The individual must choose freely. And then eventually you'll come, as the more you practice it, the more you individual were to practice it, the true teacher will be the one that knows that they are a oneness, and in the oneness create an environment where any choice is possible. Does he? And that will become the true teacher.
Wow.
Does he?
Yes.
Until then, yes, methodology, yes, technique, shift in consciousness, eventually oneness. Does he?
Will there be a person that's being worked on? Would they have a shift in consciousness as well if they realize this oneness?
Yes.
And it's their
That's
choice,
the whole point
of
of
course.
it.
Yeah.
They don't have to come to a mental realization of it. It's an energetic realization.
Okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
This is why we've presented it in a format that would satisfy the ego personality of both the practitioner and the one that is being practiced on. Do you see? And as a result of that, open then the possibilities, create the possibility of expanded awareness to move into oneness. You see?
Yes.
But it's not going to be necessarily conscious. The individual's not going to sit there and say, oh, yes, 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 yes. I think I feel the oneness. Yes, I think I feel that oneness. Oh, I can feel the oneness. I'm pretty sure I can feel the oneness. I'm not absolutely certain, but I think I can. Do you see?
Yes.
Yeah. You'll be amazed that the energy, the technique, the methodology we've provided connects to the individual on all levels, conscious and subconscious, so much so, and unconscious, that the individual themselves will choose without the conscious realization of that choice. Do you see?
Yes. And people developing this technique will give that to themselves as well.
Very much. Practice on yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
As we said, there are 3 layers. The ego personality, the ego layer, which is what is the outer layer, the inner layer, which is the environment, and the final oneness layer, which is choice. Does it?
Yes. Is this energy, wonders, is what people call universal energy, or?
It is what we've provided. Can be viewed as universal energy, but even that is a limitation. It's far beyond that.
Okay. What's that oneness again?
There you go.
Yeah.
In which choice and all possibilities exist.
Thank you, wonders.